extended line is still worthwhile.
Geology, of course, but also biology, chemistry, physics, really all sciences. Now, not everyone is such a big fan. When you want things to be a certain way and science tells you they're not, that's unfortunate. If I go to a doctor and he runs some tests and the results come back and they're not good, and we repeat the tests and they're still not good, I'm not going to like that. But it sure isn't going to do me any good to pretend the results are wrong. So when ice caps are melting and sea levels are rising and carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere are higher than they've been in the past 400,000 years, when the overwhelming majority of scientists agree that human activity is responsible for these changes, I'm not going to like that. But it sure isn't going to do me or anyone else any good to pretend it isn't happening or that humans aren't responsible. Let me tell you what the adult thing to do would be, and I bet you already know this. If I'm sick, I'm going to go to my doctor or a specialist, and I'm going to ask for help. And they're going to take what they know about the illness, about the treatments for my illness, and they're going to give me some options based on the best scientific evidence on how to treat my illness. With climate change impacting our cities, our coastline, our entire biosphere, wouldn't we go to our scientists, our engineers, and ask for help? So they could take what they know and give us some options based on the best scientific evidence of how to respond. But that's not what's happening in Washington. So I'm going to recommend something, a different science, a social science, political science. There's never been a more important time for scientists and people who care about science to be involved in politics, advocating, working on campaigns, and in political parties, and in running for office. There's an old adage in politics. It says, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. For too long, scientists stayed out of politics and away from the table, fearful that involvement would jeopardize grants or credibility. Despite staying out of the fray, their funding is being slashed and their credibility is being attacked. There's no longer anything to be gained by silence, and there's too much at stake not to act. Today is a start. There are organizations that will help you learn about politics, winning elections, and governing. As scientists, I trust you're reconciled to looking at the world as it is, not as you wish it might be. Success in politics demands a similar objectivity. But while candidates need to be clear-eyed about strategy, there's also this. Passion matters in politics. People who are passionate vote, they volunteer on campaigns, they donate to candidates, they show up at town halls, they call and write their elected officials. They write letters to the editor. They talk to their friends and they organize. They come to a rally like this one and they go home with a plan to do more. And soon. And soon you will have a movement. You will have people with visions, goals, and the energy to achieve those goals. And that energy is fueled by passion. I think this group has passion. Am I right? Am I right? All right. Thank you very much for being here. Get involved, stay involved, and I'll see you out on the campaign trail. Thank you very much for being here.
our city's
One more
done.
time for Mayor Jonathan Rothschild. I have to agree with the mayor. I wish more rational humans would become involved in politics in Arizona. We desperately need rational voices. Do your part to put this cartoonist out of business. Yeah! Participate, show up, vote, run for office. All right, our next speaker